Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's September 12th, 2018, and recently Lisa had mentioned in one of her comments, and by the way, thank you so much for all the people who have left comments lately. 1994 Abby Girl, Kate, Tim, Lisa, so many people. I really appreciate the comments and the engagement that we're getting in this small community. It's really been great. But Lisa had recently shared with me that she hadn't recognized any of the videos that I've created on pond patching. So most likely I haven't created a title that talks about pond patching the ponds. Long story short, the pond that I'm standing in right now, known as Pond 5, has been around for over a decade now. And it was the third pond that we had excavated on the property. And the property is basically a big gravel resource. Sandy, but really bony. So it's not even valuable gravel. And it was excavated here, and right behind me is where a stone wall is at the property line, and I wanted to build one more pond over here at that time. Had it excavated out, and unfortunately the pond completely drained every summer. We tried a couple of times as we excavated other ponds and other sites on the property, bringing some of the material from the other ponds, which was predominantly sand and gravel, and really thickened up the wall, which is the dam wall, mostly the dam wall behind me, and it still was rather porous and continued to drain completely. We might get to the first week in August before the pond drained, but each year because each of these ponds are connected, we'd be down here netting up all the fish and putting them back in pond, which is now Pond 4, which was Pond 2 at that time. So without making this story any longer, several years ago I realized that organic material was very good at sealing up ponds. And my first observation as a scuba diver years ago, we used to go to old quarries where large gravel pits. Well, as time went on, organic material would grow in these abandoned sites, and I would see that the base of them would create small ponds. And I also realized that cardboard and paper products were organic material and a waste source, a waste resource for us. So we started collecting cardboard and paper. And even in some of our Google Earth shots that I've shown before in old videos, you could see just this whole pond when the water was real low like it is right now. You see cardboard lined right up the whole bank. And the cardboard and paper products did a fantastic job of sealing the base, because every time as the water came back into the pond, the cardboard and paper products would slide down the banks. So I've decided to step up my actions by using other materials, including wood chips, especially decomposing wood chips, stump grindings, still continuing with the paper products as much as I can. If I could get shredded paper and lots of it, that would be one of the ideal resources for sealing the ponds, because that creates sort of a mat as well. And I decided this year to take all of our weed sources and bring them over here instead of composting them like I usually do, and take all of our vegetation that we're not using from the gardens and bring it over here as well. So this has been all this material behind me here, and I've shot some footage, so I'll try and clip that in now, of taking all of this organic material and laying it out over the areas where the gravel is still exposed. So this whole area where you see this vegetation behind me, the gravel is still exposed. Whereas down along the pond edge, it's a very nice thick. Now, the pond is not leakable up until this level here where my thumb is. And what I mean by that is it has a really nice, the sediment, the organic material has gleed, G-L-E-Y, gleed the surface and sealed the surface in a sense. So that has worked extremely well. Lisa also had mentioned, geez, Texas Prepper 2 bought a product, and he got it out of the United States, and I don't recall just where he got it from. And it's fairly expensive, and that's one of the systems that he's using for patching the pond. Now this pond has much more surface area than his has, and ours has much steeper banks as well, which are all gravel. So I don't think that system would work, but before saying any negative things about it, I really would want to do a lot of research on it. Now there's other products such as Dammit, other polymers that are being used, either a single product or two products that are combined together to create a gelatinous type of polymer that's used to help seal ponds. Long-term effects seems to be ineffective with those, and I am really concerned about introducing things into our pond systems that aren't healthy for the wildlife. This pond, let me see if I can turn this around. So right up there in the chicken coop, at the peak of the chicken coop, is a very good monitoring camera. And so we monitor all night long, 24/7, all the wildlife that goes on in this pond, and it is just loaded with wildlife, from shore birds to certainly our hawks, our eagles, both golden eagles and bald eagles, osprey hunt out of here, the green herons, the great blue herons. We've had bitterns in here, and certain the plovers and pipers and shore birds as well, the belted kingfishers. So we have so much wildlife in this area that are dependent on having safe components into the system, and the name of our place is Mindful Living Sanctuary. So we're really want to do due diligence and do the research to make sure that there's not going to be something detrimental or overly costly. And my other philosophy is producing zero waste. So we still do produce some waste. So one of my ways of compensating for the amount of waste that we produce is to take what others perceive as waste and use it as a resource here on site. So you've seen the cardboard and paper products that I use here. We don't peel off all the labels and all the tape and all that. We rely on the white rot, a fungal organism that breaks down some of these plastic components as well. That's what we've done in our slow soil building videos that we've done. So there's so many things that we're doing that most people would be concerned about, but we're not really concerned about it because we have a very healthy ecosystem here. We have some challenges because of the location that we're on, and we're trying to deal with this very mindfully, really taking into consideration not just what the short-term benefits are, but what the long-term potential detrimental effects are as well. So without making this video any longer, I just wanted to do a quick response. I'm going to try and continue to document what we're doing with patching this pond. I did make a video or two on doing the base part of doing that patching there, because right above that stone feature over there is where we excavated around the outdoor kitchen, the northwestern part of the new Back to Eden and hugelkultur gardens are, around where the blackberries are, down past the outdoor kitchen and the generator, going down around the work area and chicken coop. And so it picks up all the extra water from the northwestern part of the property and diverts it here into Pond 5. It's in an effort to capture and reuse all the water that drops on our property and cycle it through the systems as many times as we can. And when I put in that feature, we had I think it was 2.5 inches of rainwater in a short period of time, and it completely eroded a lot of the work, all of the greenery, and some of the sealant parts there, and got it right down to the sand again. So I did go ahead and use some stump grindings, which is a lot of dirt, and in that case very decomposed root matter and all. So I patched that, compacted it with the excavator, and started building that system. I didn't show the last part of it up above that I built up there, but I've shot a little bit of video here that hopefully is getting incorporated as I'm talking. So that's where we're at this point with this pond. It's going to take me a few more years to completely seal this pond. Ponds are like gardens, and gardens are like life. And in your gardens, there's going to be weeds that are going to come up. There's going to be challenges in life, and I really think that it's really beneficial to learn from all of the pitfalls, the fears, the pains, the failures, and use that information, learn from it, and learn some patience along the way, and develop a plan that's reasonable, so that we can address our problems in a very stepwise fashion with a well laid out plan, and taking action once we have that plan. And this plan is going to take a few years. I decided to gear it up a bit. Instead of composting all this compostable material, I decided to use it for organic material to glee the pond, help seal up this pond. So I hope this answers it responds appropriately to Lisa's question, which was really a good question. Well, where the heck are these pond sealing videos and all? And so I'm going to try and create more information as I go through it. And what doesn't work, I'm going to share. And I'm going to say why it doesn't work. In a couple of the videos, I'm going to actually take the camera, set it up on the edge there, and show me coming over here and depositing like I did yesterday when I was harvesting this corn as well. So this video ended up being longer than I thought because I'm a bit long-winded. So if you found this video of value, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, hit that bell icon if you want to be notified when we post videos like this in the future. And certainly, folks, have a super fantastic day. Don't forget to comment or question. We'd love to hear from you. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.